Here for Eric Smith, Thomas Ellis. He is playing Ellis. Both these players great records, 9-1. Eric Smith kind of flying under the radar a little bit this weekend. We cannot forget he is a former Invitational champion.
Thomas Ellis, player at the only game in town.
Perhaps you're familiar.
Know the gentleman well myself.
Yeah, making a great run.
Mm-hmm.
And he likes his Elves deck for the weekend. I suppose Elves does count as a combo deck, so someone's doing well with combo this weekend.
There's a variety of decks in Legacy. Elves, Infect, Burn, a couple others, where there's some mixture of a beatdown deck and a combo deck. Elves is definitely more of a combo deck than the other two are, but there's some matchups where it plays closer to a beatdown deck. You can just draw and cast Craterhoof Behemoth off of Gaia's Cradle and the mana creatures you have in play.
And that can be plenty fine. Ellis will be on the play here for game number 3. Smith considering if he should keep his hand or not. Looks like he will. Perhaps a reluctant keep. Green Sun Zenith for 0. Here comes a Dryad Arbor. So a little bit of mana acceleration here for Ellis to start. That'll be his turn. And now we go back to Smith. Smith with a Scrubland into a Deathrite Shaman.
Oh, that is, I believe that's a Savannah, actually.
Oh, is it? Pardon me.
Eric's the full 4 colors.
Ugh.
He's got Abrupt Decays.
Good eye. Good eye.
Are you not a fan of Savannah and Underground Sea in the same deck?
Can I be honest? No. No, I'm not. I can't even tell you the last time I've seen a Savannah.
It's true. Not a lot of as much Maverick.
Not a lot of Bant running around.
Not a lot of Bamped.
Misty Rainforest.
Not a lot of Zoo.
I think Zoo might be dead. I think it might be over for that deck in Legacy.
I don't know. Wild Mikado, we got 8 red blasts on the board. There could be a deck there. Work on it. Work on it on the side.
Yeah. Got a lot of decks in the kitchen for you.
I do.
Hunted Horror.
I'm a man of many interests.
Zoo and Legacy. You're a busy guy.
Yeah.
Abrupt Decay going to take care of Deathrite Shaman. Now that's a Scrubland.
Yep.
They look pretty alike.
They do.
Here's Stoneforge Mystic. Yep, that's the weapon of choice for Eric Smith.
Now this on its own is not enough to get it done if Ellis has a reasonable draw. But if Ellis just has creatures and there's no Wirewood Symbiote, there's no fast kill, there's no way to beat the Jitte, this card can win the game on its own.
Yep. Ellis will draw. Maybe a Glimpse turn, huh?
Sure. We forget this card's even in the deck. It feels like it's not part of the main engine anymore. But you can still win games this way, too.
He's going to give it a shot. Nettle Sentinel is going to draw a card. And I hope that's not the end of it for Thomas.
Glimpse does lose some of its punch in the post-board games for Elves, especially in matchups like Esper Deathblade. As you see, Abrupt Decay, he's just drawing a Null Rod. There's discard spells in the deck. Game 1, they're all Elves. That's all he's drawing. But you have to dilute the deck a little bit to be able to have your anti-Umezawa's Jitte measures, and then your Glimpses are less powerful as a result.
Basic Forest off of the Verdant Catacombs. Are there any more creatures to cast for this Glimpse turn? The answer is no. It's just a Null Rod.
And the Null Rod is annoying for Smith insofar as the Jitte plan is offline. But you look, Ellis is down to 2 cards in hand, does not have much of a board.
And there's a Thoughtseize.
Eric does not absolutely need the Jitte to win the game. From this, the way the game's shaping up, Eric might just be able to win on the board, or if he gets to something like Supreme Verdict, that should be good enough as well.
Yeah, you know, you're running a delicate balance when you're sideboarding with Elves of being able to leave your engine intact while also still being able to interact.
It's a very, very hard thing to do. You know, you can look at the sideboard. I would say there's 11 cards here that are in some way about beating Umezawa's Jitte. 6 discard spells, 3 abrupt decays, null rod, pithy needle. That's a lot of cards to board in a matchup where they're also taxing you with sweepers and discard spells and counter spells.
Yeah, so really it almost comes as no surprise that the Glimpse turn was so poor.
Yeah.
Here's a Brainstorm for Smith. Deathrite Shaman providing a little bit of mana fixing. Two cards headed back. Brainstorm done resolving. Pithy Needle in hand here for Smith right now. He's going to come across with Stoneforge Mystic. That's not really getting much better than that. If you want to double block with Dryad Arbors, feel free, I guess. Thomas Ellis declines that. Now here's another Stoneforge Mystic. Going to search. There's the Jitte. So this will give him a shuffle with the Brainstorm. Jitte in hand, Stoneforge Mystic on the table, though. Null Rod doing a nice job against the Jitte. Nettle Sentinel once untap, doesn't untap on the upkeep, excuse me, on the untap step. Misty Rainforest, and Thomas just has to pass the turn back. He's flooding out pretty badly here. Now does he have, I guess, you know, maybe a natural order for like Progenitus or something here? Can maybe steal this one for him?
He does not appear to have Progenitus in the list. He has a Rorikthar.
That might work okay, though. You can see Smith's hand does have a Source of Plowshares in it.
Yep.
Just trying to think of what kind of I win modes does he have right now, because Eric's hand is loaded up.
Yeah, Ellis has no cheap for the matchup. Progenitus is your way, generally, of getting out of spots like this. Ellis has no copies in his list. Rorikthar is sort of his utility thing to go get in spots like this. It's not horrible, but as you mentioned, Erik has a Source of Plowshares and would not matter for very much.
Yeah. Ellis will draw. He's going to need some good runners here to get back into this one. Because Erik Smith is sitting pretty. Even though he can't get that GT online because of Null Rod, he's got just about everything else he needs.
And some people are critical of the Progenitus, and Ellis is doing very well for himself, obviously, in this tournament, not playing with it. But there are spots like this where it's kind of your only way out.
Yeah.
You can't get a critical mass for Critterhoof Behemoth. Most of the other things you can natural order for can just be killed by spot removal. And Progenitus can get you out of binds like this.
Abrupt Decay going to take down Deathrite Shaman. Here's a Snapcaster Mage from the mana the Deathrite Shaman floated. Brainstorm going to be cast. You see the 4-color mana base at work here for Erik Smith. A Tundra, a Savannah,
Yep.
and a Scrubland. Just waiting for that Underground Sea now. Here come the beatdowns. Let's slow down a little bit. There's the swords. Now, one thing to keep in mind as well, Smith has a Zealous Persecution lurking. So whenever he wants to take care of those Dryad Arbors, he can do that.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he did it right now, because he wants to cut Ellis off of natural order. He can't respond to natural order with a Zealous Persecution because the sacrificing is part of the cost. So we can just take care of all the green creatures in play.
There come the beatdowns. No Zealous Persecution just yet here from Smith. He'll sacrifice that Flooded Strand. There's the Underground Sea. It's all there.
Yep. The perfect mana base.
Just wasteland proof. There's a Meddling Mage.
This is another way to fight natural order.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see what Erik does name with Chris Pakula. But I would be shocked if it wasn't natural order. And he is going to go with the powerful sorcery. Because that's really the only way he can lose this one.
Yep. And this is the same upside as the Zealous Persecution play while also getting a 2-2 into play.
Yeah.
So, totally fine sequencing here from Erik.
I think now's a pretty good time to get ZP. Clear out the Dryad Arbors, pump the team, and that's going to do it. Erik Smith is going to win this game and match over Thomas Ellis 2-1. Esper Deathblade will take care of Elves. And for Erik Smith, former Invitational champion in this building 2 years ago, 10-1.
Yep.